Alright, so today I want to show you some of the snakes that I have for sale. Some ball pythons and reticulated pythons. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my collection and go through and maybe just post 10 or 15 snakes a week, make a video, and then post them over on Morph Market. Now let me tell you, it's a little bit more difficult than just kind of showing you the snake, you know, as far as posting it. I actually have to go over to Morph Market. You have to take pictures. As a matter of fact, a lot of these snakes from last year, I haven't even figured out if they're males or females. So I have to probe them, figure out the males from the females, get a good picture, then I have to figure out the price, kind of a reasonable price as far as the current market, and then post them over on Morph Market. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take the easy way out today. I want to show you just the snakes that I already have posted over on Morph Market. I have about 10 of them over there. And a lot of these snakes have gained some weight, and some of these I think I may still have in the description that they're on live mice. And let me tell you, everything in my collection right now is pretty much on frozen thawed. Every now and then I'll get something stubborn, and I'm actually breeding just a few mice. Got rid of all my rats and some of the kind of the pickier ones. Believe it or not, some of my retics, they'll grab the rodent every single time, and they won't eat it every time. They're a little bit finicky when it comes to frozen thawed. But if you actually do like a fresh killed mouse, they'll take it every single time. So I think in some cases, maybe the rodent's a little bit too big for the reticulated python. I'm actually feeding like a jumbo adult mouse. Some of these retics are actually pretty small. As a matter of fact, when it comes to retics, I showed one of my baby hatchling retics on a video last week. And since then, I've actually sold 2 of the retics. Got another guy interested in another one, and they're all males. Sold 3 males already, potentially, if this other guy buys it. So today I want to show you one of the female reticulated pythons. They look pretty much exactly like the males. So I have males and females. I think I still have maybe about 20 retics left, the reticulated python babies. They're super cute, and it's still really small. And by the way, the snake that I have around my neck, this is Bobby, my bamboo ball python. This one is obviously not for sale. I don't know what he's doing back there, just kind of hanging out. But Bobby's kind of the star of the show, doing great. Just kind of hanging out here with me in the snake room, doing a video. All right, so the first one I want to show you is one of the female reticulated pythons. So let me pull that out. I think what I'm going to do, I'll probably extract a picture from just like a snapshot of the video on this one and put it over on Morph Market. Instead of actually doing like a full photo shoot of the snake. And then I'm going to get a quick weight. I'll tell you what it weighs. I think you'll be pretty surprised what it's coming in at. Alright, so I have to warn you, it is feeding day. I mean, literally, I'm getting ready to thaw out rodents. So these snakes know it's feeding day. So they're like coming flying out of the tub. So take a look at this beauty. This girl's name is Poe. Look at how big she is. I should say, look at how small she is. She is pretty awesome. She is one of my babies that I hatched out from when I paired up my reticulated pythons. Oh, let me get a weight on her. Well, let me turn on the balance here. But she's doing great. It's interesting. All these reticulated pythons are almost exactly the same. Some of them are a little bit brighter. And I would say if you look at the, I don't know, you probably can't tell on the camera, but if you actually look at the brightness of the pattern, you can definitely tell this is one of the brighter ones. It's like has brighter colors. And the other interesting thing too between these reticulated pythons is the eyes. The eyes are completely different, like a different color. Some of them don't even look real. Some of them are kind of orange. And this one you can actually see. Let's see if you can see. I don't know, it's an interesting color of an eye on this girl. Take a look at that. It's kind of interesting. She is very curious. They love getting out of the tubs. Very friendly. You know, sometimes the feeding response kind of freaks you out because they'll come flying out. Usually once you handle them though, they're completely fine. Unless they're in a bad mood. They'll snap at you if they're in a bad mood, usually if they're shedding. Let me see if I can show your eye a little bit up closer. Pretty awesome. Interesting looking eye. So let's see. We have the scale here. Let's see if we can. She's got a death grip on me. Let's see if I can get a weight. She's 1.5 years old. Oh. She's coming in about 550 grams. Wow, she did not like being weighed. She wanted to get out of that little tub. But yeah, that's a pretty awesome snake. The size of maybe a adult garter snake, I'd say. Pretty awesome. So I'll go ahead and post this girl up on Morph Market. These are going fast. Kind of the interesting thing too is it seems like the ball python market has really dropped in value pretty much across the board. I've seen some people making videos on it. And I think a lot of people are actually switching to these dwarf and super dwarf retics. As a matter of fact, I just sold one today. I met the guy over at the gas station right down the road. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting rid of all my ball pythons, getting into super dwarf retics. So, and these guys have been holding their value really strong. So, good investment. I don't know if the demand is there as far as producing a lot of these guys. I think the ball python demand is better. I think you'd be better off, you know, if you produced a whole bunch of ball python babies. But, you know, if you bred one of these, you know, a pair of these and had, you know, 20 babies and you hung on to them for a few years and just slowly sold them, I think you'd do really good. They are really awesome snakes. This girl is on frozen thawed mice once a week, like an adult mouse. All right, let's see if I can get her back without without her going back into feeding mode. She is an awesome snake. Look at the top of the head. Really awesome colors on this girl. All right, let me show you the rest of the snakes. I can't take too long on this one. All right, this guy's coming in at 482 grams. His name is Cheesecake. If you wonder where I got my names, I actually had the viewers actually put recommended names underneath my videos, and I put them in a jar and I pulled them out of the jar just kind of randomly. And Cheesecake is a name I use every year when I'm breeding. So take a look at this. What do you think this guy is? He's getting pretty big, quite a bit bigger than when I had shown him before. Look at how big he is. Well, you know, at about 500 grams you can breed a male, so this one's, I'd say, probably ready to breed. You know, probably the minimum size for a male. So this is actually a lesser pinstripe, which is, it's actually called a kingpin, a lesser pinstripe. If you add pastel, you get the queen pin. So this is the queen pin without the pastel, so it's the kingpin. And it's a scaleless head. If you actually take a look at the top of the head, there's a few scales missing right at the top of the head. And if you breed two scaleless heads together, 25% of the time, on average, you'll get a completely scaleless ball python. I produced my first scaleless last year. You can kind of see. The other way you can tell if you have a scaleless, sometimes you can't really tell because the scales on the head are like, you can't tell if they're missing or not sometimes, but you can always tell by the vent. The scale right by the vent. And if you look at the vent, where they go to the bathroom right there, it's like the last scale right before the vent is split in two. See how it's split in two right there? It's like this one right here. That's how you can tell if you have a scaleless head ball python. I went through all my snakes. Every single scaleless head had a split vent. Every non-scaleless head ball python had one solid scale instead of a split scale, which is kind of interesting. The belly's clear in the sky. Looking good. He almost bit me coming out of the tub. Opened up the tub, he's like, where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? These guys will eat mice or rats. Alright, so there you go. That is Cheesecake. Alright, so take a look at this one. This is Raven, coming in at 440 grams. Very nice snake. This is exactly like the last snake, except with the addition of pastel. So it's pastel pinstripe lesser, which is also known as a queen pin, also known as an emperor or an emperor pinstripe or an emperor pin. There's a lot of different names, a lot of different common names for this guy. This guy's also a scaleless head. In the scaleless head project, breed two of them together, you get a completely scaleless ball python. Looking pretty good. Slightly under the minimum to breed, although I have successfully bred males at 400 grams, and they actually produce for me. So, believe it or not, I actually had a snake about this big, and I put it on top of a 5,000 gram female, and she actually laid eggs, which is kind of wild. Really cute snake. Nice looking snake. Makes me want to keep him. One of my favorites. Pretty awesome snake. Can't keep them all though. That's the thing. Can't keep them all. Alright. Alright, so here's another one for you. This girl's name is Jelly. Jelly is a female. Coming in at 472 grams. She is a Super Blast Enchi. So that is a super pastel pinstripe with an Enchi. Enchi reduces the pattern. Super pastel, 2 copies of the pastel gene, kind of fragments the pattern like that. The pinstripe's pretty dominant throughout all your combinations. You can definitely tell the pinstripe with the striping in there. And this one is 100% Het Desert Ghost. So I was actually considering holding this one back, but I actually have 2 of them. So, whoa, she's a little head shy. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wow. I'd never noticed this before. I think she has a kink on her neck. Look at that. Sure enough. Alright. Bummer. Wow. That's the first time I noticed that. Alright, this one. Can't sell it on Morph Market. If you're interested in this one as a pet, I'll give a huge discount. Kink in the neck. Alright. This will not be on Morph Market. As a matter of fact, I have an ad on Morph Market and I'm going to take it down right now. They don't allow any kind of defects or anything. She's been eating great though. Look at how chunky she is. Wow. That's unfortunate. Alright, so here's another one for you. This guy's coming in at 426 grams. His name is Fawn. It's a male. Pastel pinstripe. 100% Het Desert Ghost. Yeah, that last one, you always want to look for kinks. Even as a breeder, you want to keep always checking your snakes, because they can slip through, let me tell you. Usually I catch them as soon as I name them. You know, usually when I take them right out of the egg, I look for kinks right away, and I catch. That's the first one I didn't catch right out of the egg, so that was kind of surprising. So no kinks in this one. So this is just a pastel pinstripe. Possible Enchi on this one. The more I look at them, the more I'm thinking not Enchi. I don't think there's Enchi in this guy. Just because I think Enchi would reduce the pattern a little bit more, maybe. And usually Enchi will bring out a little bit more of the brightness of the color. I don't know, it's pretty bright, but it's kind of leaning towards not Enchi, although it's possible you can get a low expression Enchi in there. Belly's clear. Nice snake. Friendly. Just don't put your finger by his face when it's feeding time. Very curious. It's a good looking snake. Pretty awesome. Alright, so here's a female coming in at 467 grams. This girl's name is Cypher. Cypher? Yes, Cypher. She is Pastel pinstripe, 100% het desert ghost. This one is also possible inchy. I'm thinking maybe not inchy. A little bit stuck in the shed. It's very rare that these hatchlings will actually get stuck in the shed. It seems like only the older snakes. I think it's because of the bigger tubs just don't hold the humidity as well. You know, even the water dish in the small tub and the smaller tubs keeps them from having shedding problems. The only one that I really have shedding problems is the completely scaleless. But she's a good looking snake. Very curious. Yeah, cipher. Yep. Has an interesting head. Usually they have green eyes. I don't know if you can see her green eyes. Usually, if anything with pastel, usually has green. Yeah, you can see them. I can see them. I can see they're green. I don't know if you can see it on the video. Belly's clear. Nice clear belly. Clear vent. Yeah. I was actually going through my snakes for sale and I realized that I sold one that I actually had posted. You're supposed to take them down immediately as soon as it was actually a normal. I sold just a normal ball python. I still had it on there. I was like, where is it? Kind of threw me for a loop, but yeah, this is just minimal stuck shed. It'll come right off on this one. She's a good looking snake. Always want to look for kinks. Oh my goodness, no kinks on this girl. That makes me kind of nervous that the one had a kink. Nice looking snake right there. Alright, so here's another one. I just weighed him. He's coming in at 478 grams. This is definitely one of my favorite genes right here. Even beginner snake owners should know what this gene is. It's pretty easy. It's the only gold gene. Look at how gold it is. It's the pinstripe. This is a male pinstripe, getting pretty big. Probably close to breeding size, I'd say. 100% het desert ghost. I absolutely love the pinstripe desert ghosts. If you can get 2 copies of the desert ghost. Got a little stuck shed on his neck. Poor little guy. Funny thing about the stuck shed is my humidifier ran out of water for like one day. And usually, you know, snakes are shitting like every day in here. So if it runs out for one day, it's usually the snakes that are like in the middle of a shed that kind of get stuck. And this guy was on the bottom too. Seems like the snakes in the bottom tubs tend to get stuck in sheds a little bit more, but that's a nice looking snake. Possible inchy as far as the breeding. I don't think this guy's inchy though. It's a pretty strong pinstripe pattern. You would think the inchy would break it up a little. It could be a low expression inchy. Sometimes you get that with inchy. Sometimes it's low expression, then you'll breed it and it'll be kind of it's an interesting pose for that guy. And then you'll breed them and then you'll find inchy kind of in a high expression in the offspring sometimes. It's kind of interesting. Little skinny, ready for a meal. Today is feeding day. Once you get that meal in him, he'll be good to go. But yeah, he's a good looking snake. Alright, so here's another one. This guy's name is Willie, coming in at 465 grams. He is a pastel. 100% het desert ghost. Good looking snake. Very mellow. Very mellow. These pastels are pretty cool. Sometimes they have really interesting bellies, kind of speckled a little bit. Nice big snake. So I always kind of struggle as far as, you know, how to list these. You know, are these babies, subadults, or adults? I'd say you could potentially breed this, you know, potentially this is an adult ball python at 500 grams for a male. But a female, you know, females should be about 1,500 before you breed them. So, you know, you really can't say a female this size is an adult. So, it's kind of interesting. He's still pretty much a baby still. Cool snake, very cool. Nice demeanor. Very mellow. Make a great pet or a great breeder. Alright, so check out this beautiful snake. She is a beauty. She's a high contrast albino. Very high contrast. You can see a big difference between the white and the yellow. And a low contrast, it kind of fades out. She's coming in at 271 grams. She's kind of been my problem child, I'd say. So I had to assist feed her for a long time. Way longer than I ever assist fed any other Boll Python. And now she's really picky when it comes to frozen thawed. She'll eat alive, and she tends to only eat like fresh killed. I prefer not to feed live, so I euthanize with CO2. Seems like she'll do pretty good on those, the fresh ones that are euthanized. But a frozen thawed, she's still really picky. Every now and then she'll take one, but seems like with certain snakes they get kind of picky. Good looking snake, clear belly. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, and her name is, what is her name? Oh, this is Macaroni. Macaroni. Yes, she's a cool looking snake. I absolutely love these snakes. If I can only breed one non-stop, it might be, well, it'd probably be bamboos and albinos. I love just the straight albinos. And the red eyes are really cool. Really cool little snake. Very curious, very friendly. Pretty awesome. Alright, so I'm going to show you one more. I brought Bobby out for this one because this is actually one of Bobby's babies. This guy's name is Flicker. You breed a bamboo with a lesser, 25% of the time you'll get both genes and you'll end up with a blue-eyed leucistic. And this girl, it's actually female. She for a long time I had to assist feed this one. Long time. I didn't even think she was going to make it at one point, and she finally pulled through. Now she's eating like crazy. She does great on frozen thawed mice. I don't know if I've tried a rat with this one, but usually once they start going really good, they do really well. But yeah, you can see she's got a really nice bright blue eye. So this is an allelic combination. You breed this to something else, half the offspring will have bamboo in it, half the offspring will have lesser. You get no normals breeding a blue-eyed leucistic. I'm trying to handle two snakes here. Bobby and Bobby's baby. Alright, I got a bunch of snakes here. This one is for sale. Kind of the interesting thing about this too is there's different versions of blue-eyed leucistics, and the bamboo lessers have a really faint yellow line right down the back. I don't know if you can see it on the YouTube video or wherever you're watching it from, but doing great. Really chunky, no problems at all. These white snakes are amazing. Yeah, this is another one I could breed all day long. Just such a big contrast between all the other snakes and the white ones. As a matter of fact, when I was doing reptile shows, everyone would come up to the table, and on my table I could hold like 60 snakes, and the first thing people would ask, almost everybody, they're like, "Can we hold the white snake?" They didn't want to buy it, they just want to hold it. They're so popular. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome snake right there. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I'll have another video next week, and we'll go through and I'll see what I have, see what new stuff I have, and I'll post it up on Morph Market. One guy asked for a lot of my pinstripe stuff. I do have a lot of pinstripe combinations that I can actually put up there. I can almost wrap them both around my neck. Bobby and little baby Bobby. So this guy's name is actually Flicker. Just a little tiny baby Bobby. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.